E.N.D here, day 5 for the spoilers of Zendikar Rising. Today it's Saturday, part of the weekend, very few cards spoiled, but we have a very interesting mythic dragon card. Let's start our spoiler. In ordinate range, 1 and 1 red, it's an instant, target creature get +3/+2 until end of turn and you scry 1. Scale the heights, I really like the artwork of this particular card. 2 and 1 green, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature, you gain 2 life, you may play an additional land, this turn you draw a card. Dreadworm, 4 and 1 black, it's a 5/4 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Kazundu Nectropod, 1 and 1 green, it's a 1/3, also landfall, you gain 1 life. Canopy Ballot, 3 and 1 green, it's a 4/3 with landfall, and whenever a land enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Dauntless Unity, 1 and 1 white, Kicker, 1 and 1 white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. If the spell was kicked, those creatures get +2/+1 until end of turn instead. Scorch Rider, 3 and 1 red, it's a 4/3, Kicker, 1 and 1 red. It enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, it gains haste until end of turn. Shadow Stinger, 2 and 1 black, it's a 1/4. Tap another untap rogue you control. Shadow Stinger gains Death Touch until end of turn. Whenever Shadow Stinger deals combat damage to a player, the player mills 3. Iwari Disruption, 1 and 1 blue, counter target spell unless its controller pairs 1. Springmender Cleric, 4 and 1 green, it's a 2/3, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast this creature. Black Bloom Bog, 1 of those double-faced land cards. Until the battlefield tapped, you add 1 black, but you can choose the other side of the card, which is a rogue creature, 2 and 1 black, it's a 2/3 with menace. It gets +3/+0 as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. These double-face cards, if you choose to play the land, you cannot play the rogue. If you choose to play the rogue, you cannot play the land, and when you play one of the side of the card, you cannot transform it to the other side. The first rare card, Luminarch Aspirant, 1 and 1 white, it's a 1/1. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Magmatic Channeler, 1 and 1 red, it's a 1/3. As long as there are 4 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it gets +3/+1. So if there are 4 or more, this creature will be a 4/4. You tap, discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. It's a very good card. It's a very, very strong red card. It is a 4/4 if you have 4 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. And just tap, you discard a card, you exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you may choose to play that card. Very, very strong card, Magmatic Channeler. Here's the mythic card, the mythic dragon that I told you in the beginning of this video. Leyline Tyrant, 2 and 2 red. It's a 4/4, it's a dragon, it has flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Very, very good. When Leyline Tyrant dies, you may pay any amount of red mana. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. So basically, if this creature dies and you have no unspent red mana, or you have red lands untapped, you can tap them and you deal that much damage to any target. That means that you do damage to player or creature or also planeswalker. It's a very interesting card. It's a 4-drop, it's a 4/4, it has flying, and red and 4 drops go perfectly hand in hand. So these were the spoilers for today, day 5 of the spoilers of Zendikar Rising. Subscribe to my channel for more and more spoilers of Zendikar Rising and any news about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.